Hi, this is Lisa with Holland Designs Crochet. Today I'm going to film a stitch demo to show you how to make this knit look poppy. And on the back we've attached a hair clip. So this is a larger size, so my daughter's going to wear this in her hair on this Friday, which is Anzac Day here in New Zealand, which is the Australian-New Zealand Army Corps, sort of like a Memorial or Veterans Day. And so she's going to wear this in her hair. So I'm going to show you how to make this knit look poppy. A couple years ago I made just a crocheted poppy. So I have a free pattern for a little crocheted poppy available on Ravelry. So you can download that, and I'll make this a free pattern as well that you can download from Ravelry. So I'll put the links to both of the patterns in the description box of the video. So it's, as you can see, pretty simple. Basically starting at the center with some single crochet worked in the round and just using a black, and then we'll be switching to the red and working this knit look ribbing with half double crochet in back loops only all the way around to create that knit look leaf or petal, I guess petals sort of look. So this is sort of inspired by an actual knitted poppies that I've seen online. So we'll do a crocheted version, which is kind of cute. Okay, the first thing we're going to create for our flower is simply the first 2 rounds of single crochet, and I'm working with black, so it's a little bit harder to see the stitches, but we're going to start with a first round of 6 single crochet and then increase on round 2 to 12 single crochet. So that's very basic sort of stitches, just with single crochets worked in the round. I'll just show you how we start that. So we're going to begin with our magic loop, or magic circle, I guess you can call it as well, and then insert your hook into into the loop there, yarn over, pull up a loop, work a chain 1 to sort of secure your stitches, and then work 6 single crochet into the center of that loop. So that's my 6 single crochets, and then just tighten your short end of your string to tighten that up. And round 2, I'm going to work a total of 12 single crochets. I'm just going to mark the end of my round with a contrasting color so that I can see where that is. And then I'm going to work 2 single crochets in each of the 6 single crochets of round 1. So I'll have a total of 12. So I'm doing an increase, so 2 in each. And if for some reason you did want to make your flowers slightly smaller, you could start with maybe 5 single crochets on round 1 and increase to 10 on round 2. So you could do that as well, easily vary the size of the poppy, the overall dimensions. But for this sample here, I'm just doing 6 single crochet. For some reason my hook is catching there. I'm doing 6 and then going to 12 on round 2. So again, this is very easy to customize. So that's my 12 single crochets, and then I'm just going to join with a slip stitch to the first stitch and fasten off. And then I'll take care of the ends later, but that's just the basic center of our poppy. So I've got a couple of them there. So they work up quite quickly, as you can see. So now I'll move on and show you how to work the ribbing. The materials I'm using today, actually, to show you, I have an F hook, 3.75 millimeter, and the yarn was labeled as a DK or light worsted weight yarn, also known as 8-ply here in New Zealand. So I believe the black was slightly lighter than the red, but they're both labeled as a light worsted weight. You could try using a medium worsted weight as well. Again, I'm just using yarn that I had on hand, so you can try to use whatever you may have on hand as well. You can vary the hook size and vary the yarn and just see what different size flowers you might create. To begin now with the red portion, we're just going to create a slip knot on our hook, and the first step is to just join with a slip stitch in any of the single crochets of round 2. Now for the flower I made here, I did chain 5 for the height of my petals. You could do chain 4 instead if you wanted to make shorter petals. So you can vary the height, vary the dimensions. But for mine, I'm doing chain 5. And then we're just going to be working half double crochet and back loops only, but initially on into the starting chain. So we're going to do in second chain from hook, half double crochet, and in each chain across. So for mine, I'll have a total of 4 half double crochets. If you did a shorter chain, you might have 3. So I've got 4 half double crochets, and then I'm just going to join with a slip stitch in the next single crochet and turn my work, and then work back the other way, working half double crochet and back loops only of the next 4 half double crochets. So this is a short row ribbing that I'm doing. Chain 1, turn to go back the opposite way, and then again working in back loops only. I'm going to be working 4 half double crochets across, and then again join with a slip stitch in the next single crochet, so it's automatically being joined. Then just turn my work, half double crochet and back loops only of the next 4. So you can see how quickly that's working up, and how pretty that looks. Chain 1, turn. So each row is the same, and you'll just continue all the way around. And if you've got all the slip stitches placed correctly, you should have a total of 24 rows of ribbing. So I'll just continue around until I get toward the end of my round of petals, and then show you how we finish off the round and do the joining seam. So let me just continue with this, and I'll come back and show you the final steps to finish the flower. Okay, I'm almost done with my flower. I've got 22 rounds, or sorry, 22 rows. You count them by counting the ribbing. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. So I'm going to work row 23, my half double crochets, back loops only. And then my final slip stitch join here, the next one, is going to be in the same place at the base of that starting chain. And then just turn and work the last row, which is row 24 for my flower. So again, if you had a smaller flower, if you did 5 single crochets increased to 10, then you'd only have a total of 20 ribbed rows, but I have 24. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create the little loop at the back of the flower. So if you do want to attach like a hair clip, you'll want to create a little loop at the back. So the easy way to do that is simply, I'm going to do at the end of my last row, I'm going to do chain 1. I'm going to do a slip stitch in back loops only of the next 4 half double crochets. I'm going to join again with a slip stitch at the base of that starting chain. Then I'm going to do chain 5 and kind of vary the size of the loop if you want to do a few more chains, or I'm doing chain 5 for mine. Then I'm going to just join with a slip stitch on the opposite side. This is the back side of the flower. Join with a slip stitch, and then also place a second slip stitch adjacent to that just to secure it. Then just turn your work and go back along that chain, and you can work half double crochet in those 5 chains across. And then again, just join here at the side, somewhere at the side, maybe in the base of that starting chain again, just to secure it. So you've got a double join so it's secured. So that creates that little loop at the back of the flower. It's kind of an easy way to do it all in one piece. And then the last thing we need to do is sew that seam, that short seam. So we're just going to fasten off, leaving a longer length of yarn. And then with the yarn needle, we're just going to sew these two ends together just with a whip stitch. So I'll just I'll do that, and then I'll weave in the ends here at the back. So that'll be the final finishing portion of creating these little knit look poppies. So we'll just do a quick little seam there at the back to bring that little row together there. So I'm just using sort of like a whip stitch. You can do whatever kind of little sewing technique you like, but it's kind of a simple little sewing technique to finish that off and join those ends. And I'll just tidy up those short ends, but you can see how quickly this has come together and how cute they are. And they look really pretty in you know, in a little girl's hair, or even you pin it on your lapel as well. But maybe for one for pinning on your lapel, you might make it just a bit smaller. So, but these are cute for in the hair. So I hope that you find this tutorial easy to follow, and you can see how easily you can create a knit look crocheted poppy just using some very basic crochet stitches. Hi, here we are with the knit look poppy. Adelaide is going to demonstrate how to put it in your hair.